Welcome back. We last left you in the California desert and drove hundreds of miles towards the Pacific Northwest and made it to the Redwoods. Follow along as we continue up the Oregon coast and get into Washington on the road back to Canada.
Alright, so we are back on the road. Got about 2-ish hours to go to get to where we're going. And I really gotta remember the next time I get diesel to clean my windshield, because I've just been massacring all these bugs and flies on these drives, and the windshield wiper and fluid isn't really helping too much, and I just keep forgetting to do it because in Baja there's gas attendants, and then they would just clean your windshield as the diesel's filling up. So I gotta make a mental note to do that. But we'll see you guys at this beautiful lighthouse. So we have made it to the lighthouse, and I was thinking it was gonna be, kind of quieter because it's a Monday, but it seems pretty busy. And then I saw a bunch of kids around, so then I realized I think it's March break, which is kind of brutal timing. But whatever, that's fine. We plan on hanging out here like pretty much the whole day because I mainly want to see the sunset with the lighthouse. So I was thinking that I'm gonna have a quick lunch and a coffee and then take the dogs up the trail, get a feel for it, so then when the time comes to get really good shots and videos of the sunset, that's gonna be the plan. So looking forward to it, and looking forward to taking you guys around. All right, we're gonna go scope out this hike for sunset. Got Milo on the back, Juno on the leash. To our spot for the night. We're literally just on the pullout on the side of Highway 101 because the spot I was, planning on going to didn't really work out that well. By the time I left, it was pitch black. It was a side road off of the highway, and it was pretty windy, and then all the pullouts are like super muddy, and it's supposed to rain. So I was just kind of worried about getting stuck, so we came here, and that's kind of why the sunset didn't really turn out the way I thought it was going to be, because it was pretty much clear all day, and then right around sunset time these like overcast clouds came in. But you know what, worked out pretty well. It was a very moody sort of kind of sunset, if that's what you want to call it. It's a very Pacific Northwest vibe. Got a pretty cool picture of it, and yeah, it's a really cool lighthouse. I would definitely recommend going and checking it out. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's either Hecata Head Lighthouse or Hecita Head Lighthouse. If anyone knows, let me know. But it's actually the brightest lighthouse on the Oregon coast. It shines 21 miles, which is pretty insane. It's a very scenic area. Like, can't recommend it enough. It's a pretty big tourist attraction, just by the crowd from earlier in the day kind of thinned out a lot by the nighttime. So it was cool getting to experience it with not too many people around. But yeah, I think we're just gonna end up going to bed and getting up at a decent time as usual and continuing up the coast. And it's supposed to be more of a rainy day, so see how that works out. We've been getting pretty lucky with the weather, but you know what? It might be just a nice moody Pacific Northwest kind of vibe tomorrow. So see you guys in the morning. Good morning. Got the coffee here as usual, and then after I'm done this, take dogs out. We're gonna be heading 2 hours up the coast to this little town of Nesquin, and it seems really cool because at low tide there's this sort of phenomenon called the ghost forest. That there was this forest that got buried by a tsunami 2,000 years ago, and at extremely low tide, so kind of the winter months from what I've read, and since it's the end of March, it might work out for us that at low tide all these like ancient spruce tree stumps just stick out of the sand, and it's kind of scattered all along the beach, and that's what's like left of this forest that got buried by a tsunami. And it's kind of like a moodier day. It's supposed to rain today, and then just be kind of overcast the rest of the day, around when low tide is supposed to happen from what I've seen. And it might honestly just add to the effect of the beach. Like, it might be perfect conditions for it. Be nice and moody, seeing like you know, like a huge forest that got buried by a tsunami so many years ago. Maybe a very Pacific Northwest sort of vibe. Very much looking forward to it. But I'm just gonna finish this up and then see you guys there. So we made it to Nescoin Beach, where the ghost forest is. I'm just having a coffee right now. It's kind of raining, but we got about an hour until low tide, where all the tree stumps will be super visible. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna finish this coffee, take the dogs out, and then I'm gonna go see if I can get some very moody shots of the ghost forest. And it's a good thing that we've been spending our time on Vancouver Island up in Canada, because we're very prepared for the Pacific Northwest weather, and the dogs have their own raincoats, so they won't get too soaked in this rain, which is very ideal because it's not super warm out. I think it's about 10 degrees Celsius. But yeah, I'm just gonna end up finishing this coffee, staying a little bit warm, and then gonna go explore the ghost forest, and I cannot wait. Alright, so I've had a pretty good day. Got to go explore Nescoin Beach, but we didn't really get to see too much of the ghost forest. You could see it sort of like way in the distance a little bit, but the main reason why we didn't get to see it was, even though it was low tide, low tide today was negative 0.16 feet, but that's still, like, I guess, too high to get around the river without getting completely soaked, because the ocean tide was still sort of up by the river, and it's deep, man. Even because it cuts down the middle of the beach, and even at its deepest points, it like looks like you'd easily be in knee-high water, and that wasn't obviously gonna happen in this sort of weather. And I got soaked because it poured at one point. So if it was only like ankle deep, I was like totally willing just to do that, but wasn't the case. And I even looked on Google Maps, and I saw that there was this sort of like suburban area on the other side of the river. So I figured, oh, I'm just gonna go there and I'll figure out a way down to that side of the beach. But ended up being a gated community, private property signs, so that was a no-go. But it was still really cool getting to explore that beach at low tide, so you can go see Proposal Rock. It was like super moody today, really foggy and rainy, so I was like editing some pictures, and they look really cool in black and white and sort of that, kind of scene. So it's been kind of fun. And then after that, we drove 40 minutes up the road. Actually, I was able to have a shower at a YMCA here, and then 10 minutes from there, we're at this rest stop here for the night. So it's been pretty nice kind of coming here just a little bit, earlier around dinner time, and chilling and just, taking it easy, watching some TV, editing pictures. Perfect rainy day because, the last every other day here in Oregon, we've been staying at spots later to watch the sunset. Then we get back later, obviously. So it's been kind of a nice little break. And then tomorrow is actually going to be our last day in this state. And, kind of sad to leave. It's been beautiful. But our last stop that we're going to see is Cannon Beach, which is obviously a really super popular, area in Oregon. The pictures look unbelievable. So really looking forward to that. And I think that's going to be a great way to spend our last day in this state. But yeah, I think we're just going to keep taking it easy the rest of the night. Just relax, continue editing some pictures and videos, watching some TV, just really getting our energy back for tomorrow, because tomorrow it's going to be a nicer day. So I'm really looking forward to seeing some more beautiful sunsets for our last day in Oregon. But see you guys in the morning. Good morning. We are back on the road for our last full day here in Oregon, and it will be a good way to end off our last day, going to see a very, popular area in Northern Oregon. We're going to Cannon Beach. Very much excited for it. The pictures look amazing, and I have been looking forward to seeing it. So we will check back in when we get there. So we made it to Cannon Beach. I was actually able to take the dogs out and see where the beach is before it started kind of pouring on us. But we got back here. There's Junes, he's a little wet. Milo, he's a little wet. And it's looking like it's supposed to clear up in a couple of hours. So that's the beauty of having your house with you the whole time. So I think I'm just gonna hang out here, make a coffee, have lunch, and then once this rain stops, go and explore and get some cool shots of Cannon Beach for you guys. So took the dogs out running down the beach like you saw, took them out again before I came, and now just walking the beach myself, waiting for sunset, hoping to get some good shots because the weather has completely cleared up from before, because like I mentioned, we ended up getting rained on, but now it's pretty much clear skies, so hoping for a nice sunset for the last one here in Oregon. All right, on the way back to the van, gonna get ready to drive about 30 minutes to our spot. It's a pretty sweet sunset to end the last night in Oregon. I just want to, not drive totally in the dark, but at the end there's coming up and up the stairs to get back to the street, there were like a bunch of elk, which was pretty cool. Never seen them that close before, but good way to end the last night in Oregon, and we'll see you guys at our spot for the night. Yeah, so I've just been getting used to doing a lot more, stealth camping on this leg of the trip, opposed to when we were in Baja and we could just do a bunch of wild camping and just stay at spots for, weeks and days on end. And then even in the desert in California, we were able to stay at a more wild spot and have the van open and whatnot, which is kind of why I stayed the extra night. But it's been a good trade-off, in my opinion, because I wanted to see a lot of the stuff along the coast. And there isn't really too many like wild spots along the coast, so I just tend to find a lot of these stealth spots like Walmarts or rest stops, or sometimes just to pull off on the side of the 101 if you're in a secluded enough area, because in my opinion it's better than staying at a campground, just because they're kind of expensive for what they are. Like, I don't really need all their amenities all the time. Like, I can go fill water myself or dump my gray water for a fraction of the cost, and then even find a shower every once in a while for fraction of the cost, because in certain areas they can get pretty expensive if you're in a more tourist area, like the ones in Cannon Beach seem to be pretty expensive. So obviously didn't even bother. The Walmarts are good enough for me. But yeah, pretty excited to see Washington. We got a few more days left before we hit Canada, so I think we're gonna head to bed, and we'll see you guys in Washington. Good morning. We are back on the road, and like I was saying last night, we're gonna be getting into Washington today, which is pretty exciting. Get to explore a new state, and we got about 3-ish hours until we get to where we're going. And as usual, we will check back in once we get to where we're going. All right, well, I had to make that pit stop after I realized I was gonna be passing through Kurt Cobain's hometown, because my 16-year-old self would be pretty stoked to be here. So yeah, it's kind of a nice little surprise, nice little pit stop. It was like right off the highway, so not even out of the way at all. And we just got another hour and 25 minutes until we are getting to where we're going, so we will see you guys there. So we made it to our spot for the night. We're actually gonna sleep. It's actually a campsite in Olympic National Park. And I know it's kind of funny because I was saying last night how I don't find it very, worth it to stay at places, but this one is actually really cheap. This one was only $24 for the night. It's like right on the beach. It's 10 minutes down the road from where I want to go watch the sunset, which is perfect, and it's about 40 minutes from the hike I want to do tomorrow. So it all worked out well. I also need to fill water, so that's pretty much like half of the cost anyway. Normally when I go fill my water, it's been like at least $12. And then I'm not sure if there's showers. I saw that there's like a washroom area, but if there's hot showers, then it pays for itself already, which would be pretty nice, but not sure about that. I'll go check. But just since we just got in, I've just made another coffee since it's kind of cooler outside, and then I'm gonna have some lunch, and then I'm gonna be taking the dogs out to the beach that's just at this camp spot, get them all nice and tired, and then for sunset we're gonna drive down to Ruby Beach and watch the sunset there. The pictures look unbelievable, so I really want to go check that out. It's really cool to be in Washington, get to experience another state, and like I was saying earlier, it's really cool being able to stop at Kurt Cobain's like childhood house. It's so funny because I didn't even realize we'd be passing through his hometown, and then when I was like looking on the map of like where we were coming today, and I noticed it was going through Aberdeen, and I'm like, that place sounds so familiar. And then I realized, I'm like, yeah, it's Kurt Cobain's hometown. And then when I like Googled it, there's like his house is like his old house is a historic landmark now. And then there's like a memorial park around the corner from his house under this bridge, which is where he would go and like play his guitar and stuff when he was younger. Because like I said, it would be happy for my 16-year-old self to be going through that area, because I was a huge Kurt Cobain and Nirvana fan. So I had like all the memorabilia, and like I had his diary and stuff. So it's like it's kind of cool. I got to go see that. I don't know. It's kind of neat. Really unexpected stop today, but really cool nonetheless. But I think I'm gonna finish this coffee, have some lunch, and then we'll be taking the dogs out on the beach. So we're just exploring the beach right by the campsite. Just letting the dogs kind of, wander around and explore. We got Juno over here, who's just eating sticks all the time. And then here's this little Magoo. I don't know where he's going. He's following his nose. Milo! Hey, bud! Hey, buddy! Hey, buddy! Hey, bud! Hey, bud! And we got some tired doggos after that beach session. It's the best way to tire them out. Just let them run around the beach. Now they just sleep. Alright, so we got back with the dogs from running on the beach by the campsite. They were having an absolute blast, like you probably saw. So, just gonna make some dinner right now, and then we're gonna head 10 minutes down the road to go see Ruby Beach, which I'm pretty stoked for, because from what I've seen online, the sunsets there are amazing, and like you may have known by now, I am a sucker for a good sunset. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Ruby Beach has to offer. So let's get going there. All right, so we're at Ruby Beach. Dogs are in the van eating their dinner after, taking them out on the beach. It's kind of the routine that I get into, like I've mentioned before, so I can come out to areas where I want to get nice sunset pictures and just kind of scope the area out. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is that when I come to places and I want to find nice sunset pictures, I kind of come out a little bit earlier, scope out areas where I think it's going to look nice depending on where the sun looks like it's setting, and then I kind of like make a deep mark in the sand to come back to it, and hopefully it works out. But I will show you some of the pictures that I will take later tonight. So we still got some time waiting for the sun to set, but I was like looking around and I think everybody left. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one on this beach right now, which is pretty crazy. It's so cool. I got this whole place to myself. Like, what a way to start off Washington for me, eh? Good morning. Got the coffee here as usual, and it's another cold morning here in the Pacific Northwest. Oh my god. Oh, feeling kind of cold, but last night was unreal. Definitely happy that I decided to, go 10 minutes down the road to Ruby Beach to watch that sunset. It was very nice. I got some nice pictures that I will show right here. Yeah, it's been a cool start to Washington, but I think that's gonna be like the last time that we're on sort of the coast, except for this morning, because after I'm done my coffee and sort of clean up, I'm just gonna take the dogs down to that beach again and kind of tire them out, get their exercise in, because the hike that I want to do is, since it's in the national park, dogs aren't allowed, which is the case in the U.S. that I mentioned before, just kind of unfortunate. So I'm just gonna get the dogs kind of running around on the beach and then go do this hike, and then we're gonna explore the little town of Forks, Washington. So should be a pretty good day. And yeah, the hike that we're gonna do is the Hall of Mosses. So it's not very long. I think it's only like a mile and a bit, but it's like through all these you know these crazy lush trees, and then as the name suggests, like a bunch of these trees are just covered in moss, which is gonna be kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of some of the stuff that I've seen on Van Isle. So yeah, it's gonna be another good day. Can't wait for the sun to come up so it gets a little bit warmer here. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish this coffee and then let's hit the beach. Okay, so we got the dogs on the beach. Got Milo in the bag until we tire this maniac out with the stick. You ready? Hitting the road, heading to that trailhead I want to do after I took the dogs out for their nice run on the beach for, you know, a little over an hour. Got them tired out because, like I mentioned, they are not allowed on these hikes, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is, and that's why I took them to the beach first. So we'll see you guys on the hike. So we are back on the road. We are heading towards Forks, this little town not too far away. That's going to be kind of where we're staying tonight. So we're just going to go sort of explore the town when we get there after we have some lunch. But that hike was super cool. Getting to see the trees are huge and they're all covered in moss, which is, you know, pretty neat. It's definitely a Pacific Northwest thing. Not to the same extent as this hike, but even on the island, a lot of the trees are like covered in moss and stuff. It's super cool. Definitely see it if you're passing through Olympic National Park, and then also on the drive to the hike. It's pretty nice with a bunch of trees, and then there's a river here, and I was actually able to get a pretty nice picture of the Olympic mountain range. I'll show you guys that later. But yeah, it's been a pretty good day, to say the least. Washington has been a pretty cool state, and yeah, we're gonna check back in once we get into town. All right, so we got a little bit of change of plans. We were in Forks for a little bit, ended up getting a burger from this little burger joint to treat myself, since I haven't really had anything, you know, out to eat in I can't even remember how long. It's pretty good, but I just realized that there's another beach right on the ocean that looks really beautiful. That's only 20 minutes away from here. So I thought we weren't gonna see any more sunsets on the ocean, but we got one more. So I'm gonna take the dogs out when we get there before sunset, and yeah, we're gonna show you guys around and see what this place is all about. All right, so we're on the beach. Got Milo in the bag to start as usual, and we got Juno, who always tries to carry the biggest sticks. So we're back at the van after letting the dogs have a nice little run sesh, having fun out there. You know, I don't know if you can hear them, but got the dogs their dinner and about to head out to find some more spots for hopefully some more good sunset pictures of. This will definitely be our last time at a beach on the open ocean for the trip, so hoping to make the best of it here. So let's go find some sweet sunset pics. Good morning. Got my coffee right here. We got in kind of late last night after watching the sunset, and the camera sort of died, so that's why I didn't really film anything. Just got back, edited some pictures from our day yesterday, and Today we're going to be heading to Lake Crescent. It's going to be one of the last things we do on this trip before we end up back in Canada. I already got my ferry booked for, I think it's like in 2 days we'll be taking the ferry back to the island and being back in Canada. So we got like 2 more days left here, and Lake Crescent is going to be one of the last things we see. So very much looking forward to that. So I'm just going to finish up my coffee, take the dogs out, and we are going to hit the road. All right, so we are back on the road heading towards Lake Crescent. Shouldn't be too bad of a drive. It says it's about 40 minutes, so not that bad. And like usual, we will check in with you guys when we get to where we're going. So we made it to the trailhead. It's not a crazy long hike, but it does get pretty steep, but looking forward to some epic views at the top. All right, so we're at the part of the hike where you gotta use the rope to get to the top. So I just got back from that hike. Super cool, beautiful views, obviously. Just making myself a coffee. Well, already made myself a coffee. I know, Juno. And I'm just having some lunch, and then I'm about to take the dogs to a dog-friendly trail. It's about 17 minutes away. As you can tell, Juno really wants to go because, they weren't able to go on this hike, and he's eager to go, so I'm gonna just finish up my coffee here, and we'll see you on the dog-friendly trail. All right, so we made it to the dog-friendly trail here. It's the Spruce Railroad Trail. Got Milo in the bag to start as usual, until this boy gets a little more tired. Make it easy on me to walk both after that. So let's go explore. Our spot for the night, just at like a casino kind of near Port Angeles, and yeah, it was such a great this will probably be our last day exploring Washington, because tomorrow's our last day here and it's supposed to just rain all day. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna take the day and get the van ready to cross back into Canada. But it was a great last day getting to explore Washington and Olympic National Park. That hike is really awesome. It's the Mount Storm King hike. Super great. The views are just stunning. Like, the pictures and the videos never do it justice, so you just gotta come see it for yourself. But yeah, I got a lot of cool shots. Was just editing those up earlier today. It kind of reminds me of the Chief hike in Squamish, BC. If anyone's ever done that, it's like kind of similar in the sense of like the view of like the lake and the mountains, and then also the last little bit to get to the top you also have to use ropes that are there to climb up and get there. So very similar, very cool hike. And then it was fun taking the dogs on the dog friendly hike, which is sort of like the lake that lookout overlooks is Lake Crescent, and then the dog-friendly hike was sort of a long Lake Crescent, so it was cool getting to see a closer up view of the lake that I saw on the hike. But I think this is where I'm gonna end this video off. I know it was a little bit longer and kind of all over the place because we have been traveling very far over the last 2 weeks. Started way at the California-Mexico border in the desert, and then ended up way up here in the Pacific Northwest bordering Canada. So I know it's a little bit all over the place, but we'll see you guys in the next video when we are back in Canada.